If a color doesn't have a name, can we still see it? Well, many years ago, the human eye evolved to give us the ability to see about 1 million colors. That's a lot. Then how come, until very recently, nobody saw or even heard of the color blue? Well, it's because blue just didn't exist yet. Let's find out why.
Why?
Blue is a mysterious color. To people of the ancient world, like the Greeks, blue wasn't a color at all. This weird story starts with William Gladstone, a 4-time Prime Minister of Great Britain, and he was a huge fan of Homer.
The Simpsons.
No, not that Homer, Greek Homer.
Oh.
Homer wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey, and these two epic poems are considered the foundation of all ancient Greek literature, and much of modern literature is, in some ways, derivative of Homer. So Gladstone was reading the Odyssey and noticed Homer described the wine-dark sea, not blue, not green, wine dark. And this description got Gladstone interested in other ways Homer used color to describe things. Homer describes honey as being green and sheep as being violet colored. Gladstone wondered if Homer was colorblind and saw blue as maybe something else. So he went through thousands of pages of Homer's writing and counted his references to color. Black is mentioned almost 200 times, white about 100 times, red is mentioned 13 times, yellow and green fewer than 10 times, but blue? 0. So Gladstone looked through other ancient Greek writing. Nothing was ever described as being blue. And Gladstone's initial thought was maybe the Greeks saw color differently than other people. So researchers analyzed ancient texts from all over the world. The Quran, the Hebrew Bible, ancient Chinese, Hindu, Icelandic. No blue, not once. These ancient texts reference colors with pretty much the same proportion as Homer's epics. Black and white appear a lot. Red a few times, yellow and green appear very little, but blue never appears at all. And human eyes are the same now as they were back then, so why couldn't they see blue?
Simple.
Is it?
Everything was in black and white.
No, that's not accurate.
Hello? I've seen the
Eighth
movies.
video. That's
All
funny.
languages evolve in their own way, but almost universally, names for colors emerge in the same order. First, a language creates the words for black and white. The next color is always red. After red, it's either yellow or green. The last color to appear in every major language is blue. And this makes sense if you think about it. How often does blue appear in nature? We see black and white everywhere. Blood is red, so humans are familiar with that color. But what in nature is blue? Only 10% of flowers are blue, so pretty rare. But even more rare in animals. Birds, mammals, reptiles, none of them produce blue pigment. Yes, there are a couple of blue butterflies, but that's not pigment. They're actually brown. The color blue is created because of the way their wings are structured at the microscopic level. Same with blue feathers of peacocks or blue jays, blue toads, even people with blue eyes. That blue isn't pigment. It's the microscopic structure of the eye or the feathers or the skin that scatters the light in a way that appears blue. And since blue is so rare in nature, most ancient cultures didn't see blue as a separate color, but rather a shade of green. Languages are efficient. Why bother making up a word that you'll hardly ever need? The ocean wasn't blue, it was a shade of green. The sky wasn't blue, it was light black. Blue finally emerges as its own color when the Egyptians invented a way to produce a blue dye. Suddenly, the light black sky was blue. The Nile River, green for thousands of years, finally became blue. As Egyptian blue dye made its way around the ancient world, languages evolved to accommodate this new color. But before that, nothing. So unless you have a word to describe a color, it becomes really difficult for humans to perceive it. And there's proof of this, even today. Researcher Jules Davidoff conducted an experiment with the Himba tribe in Africa. And like ancient cultures, the Himba have no word for blue. To the Himba, blue is just a shade of green. So Himba participants were shown 12 squares on a screen. 11 of the squares were green, 1 was blue. Can you pick out the blue square? Now, of course you can. You found it immediately. But the Himba had trouble with this color. They had a lower reaction time than you or I would. But quick side note, you'll see
Speak
lots
for
of reports
yourself.
about this study that say the Himba couldn't see the blue square at all. That's not true. The BBC and Business Insider made that part up. It's a complete fabrication.
Oh yeah?
I thought the media follows this.
Just making shit up, man. Deathly Cloud, Wow, Joe, Dive, I'm Jay Lutenko, Elman, thanks for subs, resubs, Nist, with the 4 years as Forsen. Forsen, I'm your biggest fan. Shadowball, welcome back, Ludwig and Kaza. We got Great the OG and we got Jan Day. Thank you. Far too kind. Alright, we're done so with Lowe's